Um, this is going to be kind of how the touch portal works on iOS devices and things. This is the control software, and this is basically what you will see on the iPad. Um, this is the home screen that I've got set up, and right now I've got different little buttons set up for each thing. We rename files based on player names, so that's what the rename panels are, but we also keyword on those. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how the keywording works. So if I jump into, like, say, my football keyword panel, and you can see that the panel I have set up is kind of laid out by different numbers and things. Basically, the white is offense for us, the purple is defense, this is special teams, and then I've got a couple, like our coach huddle celebration. This is next and back for IPTC coding, and then this goes back to the rename panel for football, and this goes to the main page for us. So basically, each one of these buttons just inputs a string of text for us. So we already have code replacement mapped for Photo Mechanic. So basically, when I hit the one button, it writes this text in wherever it is. So since I want the code replacement, which we have set up, so basically, if I type this, it's going to give me Jamar Chase with Photo Mechanic's code replacement. So I've got this written. I could also just have this type Jamar Chase as well. And I can show you how that works in a second. But since I already have code replacement set up, it's easier to just keep this code in there. And that way, if I have to fix anything or I find out I misspelled someone's name, I correct it on code replacement, it saves in here. But this will literally put anything you want. So for celebration, I can literally just have it write celebration as a thing. We also have code replacements for that. But this way, it kind of lets you enter whatever you want. And so for teams that don't have jersey numbers, so say for a team that I cover regularly, which would be our tennis team, I could have Paris Corley, which is one of our tennis players. Her name is text. And that way, I don't have to build code replacement files. I can just build 8 buttons for these. And that way it would be our 8 tennis players, and it's a super quick way to add their key names. So basically right now, if I save this and I open up a panel for IPDC, and in my iPad, if I press that chase button, it's going to write out all of that. Now see, it doesn't add any spaces I haven't put in, and it wrote exactly what I had written. So if I press the Justin Jefferson button, it's going to put Justin Jefferson, and it's ready to go to the next one. You could also set this up to immediately jump to the next panel. In Touch Portal, you could have a key press underneath it. So it could be Command N for the next one, and it would immediately be ready to go. So I could type Justin Jefferson, and it jumps to the next photo. Justin Jefferson, and it goes to the next. The disadvantage to that type of setup, and the reason I don't do it, is because I also want to type celebration for Justin Jefferson, and then I hit the next button. This one is going to be Joe Burrow, Lloyd Cushenberry, celebration, next, and so on and so on. It doesn't help for everyone. You could build a giant screen of this, and it would work. I went with who 85% of my photos are. And so it's just super easy to jump in here. I hit Derek Stingley, and I'm good to go. That way, it's super easy. I hit next on my screen. This one's Grant Delpit, next. Damone Clark, next. Damone Clark, next. So on and so on. Jacoby Stevens, and say this was a certain thing. So this is Patrick Queen, celebration. I'm on to my next photo. And you can see that the way I built it, when it writes a code, it puts a comma in front of them. Photo Mechanic ignores this in most cases. So if I go to the next image and come back, it's erased all that. But this means I can then stack people on top, which actually we have not put our updated code there. But it allows me to stack people on top and go to the next panel and come back. And that way, it's super easy for me to type. So I could type Clyde Edwards, Aaron Moffitt, go to the next photo, and come back. And that way, it's all nice and clean. It's good to go. This is super easy, and basically, we'll be building these for several of our sports. So for gymnastics, since they don't have jersey numbers, I just simply have names. And that's super easy. I've got the apparatus, so I can say Cameron on bars celebrating, hit next, and I'm out. And that's a lot easier for 3 key presses to do than multiple ones. So say I wanted to go Cameron celebration on bars next, and that's super easy. And I can go back and forward on this panel. So it's just a super easy thing to do. So I could say this was Kaya, Lexi, and Olivia on bars celebrating. And it's just a super easy, compact way to, one, make sure that names are spelled correctly, which is already handled through code replacement, but 2, it shortens up how much I have to type, and it allows me to keep working. So this can be my left hand while my mouse is on my right, or right hand and left, and it's super easy. These are endlessly customizable. Whatever you want to put in these buttons for key presses or text, it's super easy. You could also add, so say I wanted to add another row on here. I could put this to open the IPTC panel, and I know that that is, that's the I button. So I save that, and if I'm chilling on here and I want the IPTC panel, boom, that's it. And since the OK button is command return, I could also have this as close IPTC panel, which you can't really put too long of a name in here. But if I hit command return, hit add, save. So I can open IPTC, see what I want. Oh, good, close it. So literally anything you can do with buttons, you can add on these panels. You can make these panels gigantic. I wouldn't really recommend this. It's a little hard to then follow. But if you're covering a team and you just want these to map to numbers, you could do that. You can also then just hide rows. So that's pretty much it.